So I've always loved stories, and reading is something that I did a lot growing up. That really kind of fizzled out of my life, and I've missed it a lot. I've been trying to get back into it for a while. I've even restarted my physical collection again, but um, I haven't gotten into it as much as I would like to. So I'm trying to have a reading list prepared, and I thought it would be fun to share that reading list with you. I'll start by just saying 6 of the books that I was able to get, and then some of the books that I will try to get throughout the rest of the month. And I'll review the books that I've read to some degree. I want to try to be spoiler free. The first thing that I read, because it was a short story and I thought it would be a great starting place, was Galatea by Madeline Miller, which was inspired by a Pygmalion, a story about an artist who fell in love with his work, which then came to life, and you're reading it from the statue Galatea's perspective. And it's really sad. I found it relatable. The ending of the story is something that I would like to get a tattoo of if I can ever get the money. But overall, I would definitely recommend. I really liked it. After that, I read Circe, also by Madeline Miller. Truly a wonderful story, really well written. It had a lot of evocative imagery, which I came to expect after reading the short story by her, because that also had some like really beautiful and immersive imagery in it. I related to Circe a lot, as well as Galatea. The story had less to do with the Odyssey than I thought it was going to, but I learned that I have a lot to learn about Greek mythology still, so I'm looking forward to studying it more. And I thought the ending of that story was very sweet as well, so again, I would recommend. After that, I read When the Tides Hold the Moon, and the art for this story, I actually have it right next to me, is so gorgeous. You can tell that everyone behind this novel took a lot of pride and care into making it the best it could be and truly honoring the story, and it's truly gorgeous. It's probably the most beautiful book I have seen and also have read in a very long time, potentially ever. The main character is from Puerto Rico, so the main character is from Puerto Rico, and I know very, very little Spanish, so I was just kind of going based off of context clues for a really long time. And then I got to the end and I realized there's actually a glossary back here, which is very useful, and I feel very silly for not like even thinking to check, because I should have checked. But it was truly, it was so pretty. Also, the epilogue, the way that's delivered is really cute, and I like getting to see that from that perspective. A lot of these things things that resonated with me, but I suppose that sometimes we seek comfort in art in that way, you know what I mean? So the next thing that I read was Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. It was the graphic novel version of the novel Speak that I read when I was in middle and high school, which I loved so much when I was growing up. It meant so much to me and resonated a lot with me, which is a word I find that I'm using a lot in this video, which I apologize. It was nice to revisit it, even though it is such a tragic story, because it made me realize why it had, like, I knew why it had such a big impact on me growing up, but I remembered a lot of details that I had forgotten over time, and I was like, yeah, no wonder this meant so much to me in middle and high school. So it was really nice to revisit. It's another recommend. Everything I've read so far, I definitely recommend. What is next on the list is The End of the World is a Cul-de-sac by Louise Kennedy. This is a collection of short stories, which I'm looking forward to reading. And then after that, I have The Furies, Women, Vengeance, and Justice by Elizabeth Flock. Again, haven't read it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. And then, in regards to what I want to read for the rest of the month, I really want to get the Iliad and the Odyssey. I wanted to reread this before I read Circe, but the local library just didn't have it available, and the next closest one was having renovations done, so hopefully I can pick them up sometime soon so that Circe is still fresh in my head when I read it. Which I'm probably gonna reread a couple times before I end up taking it back. After that, I really want to get The Body Keeps Score by Bessel Kolk, I think is the name. This is a pretty well-known book about trauma, and I've wanted to read it for a while, so I'm looking forward to getting the chance. Hopefully, I can do that this month. Another one I wanted to check out is The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. This is a historical fiction novel that takes place, I believe, around the Trojan War or during the Trojan War, and I'm kind of fascinated with that lately. The next up on my list, I have Good and Mad, The Revolutionary Power of Women's Anger by Rebecca Traister, which is a nonfiction history novel that covers women's role in politics, and activism. So I'm looking. I keep saying I'm looking forward to it, but I am. I'm looking forward to reading all of these if I can get my hands on them. And then, last but definitely not least, I really want to get my hands on a copy of Know My Name by Chanel Miller. This is a memoir that was written by a survivor of a very well known sexual assault case named Chanel Miller. She originally was like a Jane Doe, Emily Doe in her case, but that's another book that I have on my list that I can't wait to get my hands on. But yeah, I don't really have much to say else on that front other than the books that I've recommended. I do hope you check out from your own local library, or if you can afford it, support that author by buying the book outright. And beyond that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Thanks for watching.